We are wrapping up 2 full weeks now with the federal government shutdown, and here's where we are sitting right now on day 14. NBC News is reporting that House Democrats are expected to hold an in-person caucus meeting later today. The House was previously expected to return to session, but late last week, Speaker Mike Johnson made this week a district work period instead. Meantime, members of the U.S. military are expected to be getting a full paycheck tomorrow. Right now, we're going to look in live from outside the world's busiest airport at the tarmac at Hartsfield-Jackson, where operations have, for the most part so far, been running smoothly since the shutdown started. The first partial paychecks for air traffic control, their staff are set to be doled out today, but local union and FAA leaders are noting that if the shutdown continues beyond that, 0 paychecks could follow. Back with us to dive deeper into the possible shortfalls that we could see at the world's busiest airport is Tucker Balch, Emory professor in the practice of research on finance. Tucker, great to see you this morning. A lot to still unpack here as this is still ongoing. There's already a lot of stress at TSA, a lot of the agents as an air traffic controller as well. But how high stress is it when you add all of this into the mix? So much uncertainty still.
Glad to be here. Thanks. So, as you said, they just received essentially what's going to be their last paycheck going into the shutdown. And at the last big shutdown in 2018, 2019, we began to see things sort of fray and become more stressful as we got further into it after that paycheck. So I think in the next week and the week after and so on, as that, people have to buy food, they have to pay rent and so on, things are going to get more stressed. As of today, it's not so bad. In fact, on Friday, we had the 4th busiest day this year at Hartsfield, Atlanta. No real strain points, but I think it's going to be getting more strained as we go forward.
Yeah, as time goes on, people have to pay their bills. So what does it mean, Tucker, to the markets and to everyday consumers when we see these federal workers, especially those who are considered essential workers, having to keep working without pay and not knowing when they'll get paid again?
That's obviously a strain on the markets, especially when you consider, they take the money they make and they pump it back through the economy. So it's going to be slowing things down. In fact, across the economy, not just travel, we're going to see federal workers probably holding back on Christmas spending and so on. So it is going to dent the economy quite a bit. They should get all that back pay, although for certain federal jobs, the administration is saying they might not provide it. So we'll have to see. I will say that TSA and air traffic control are going to get all of their pay eventually.
Yeah, and if you were analyzing this as a business, would you say the federal government perhaps is underinvesting in its own human capital at this point?
Yes, certainly. Another point of concern. Well, there's a couple. Let me make 2. One, air traffic control. They're affected by this just like TSA. They're the ones if we end up having trouble with air traffic. In other words, just travel being shut down, it's going to be because of air traffic control. And they're on a knife edge, and if like 10 people don't go into work, it'll cause problems across the country. And so we need to invest, the country needs to invest in air traffic control, not just paying their salary, but improving the equipment.
Yeah, and Tucker, if these federal tensions continue, because we don't know how long this will last, with shutdowns, labor disputes, and even people not getting paid, what's the long-term risk, do you think, for agencies like the TSA and FAA as well?
Excellent question. There's no question they're going to lose people. People are going to quit, even at this stage. People want dependable jobs. They need dependable income and so on. It takes a while to build up that talent base, especially at management levels and so on. So, yeah, we may see lasting impacts on our capacity here in the United States for air travel.
It really is all up in the air at this point. So we're going to check back with you later on. We hope you'll continue to keep us posted on what you learn. Tucker, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Tucker Balch.